pattern. And I think our work has shown that pattern. Over 552 of the top coaching jobs within football found only 19 are from the black and ethnic minority groups. And I think when you're coming from a backdrop of football, which is so diverse on the football pitch, you see 30%, up to 30% black and ethnic minority players on the pitch. To see that in 2014 is absolutely implausible and saddening for me as a footballer who's had a 17-year career. When people talk about time and waiting for things to change, we had more black managers 10 years ago than we do now, when we went into a league this season with no black managers.
OK, so we'll come to what can be done about it. Let's talk a little bit, if we can, about the reasons why that might be happening. And they looked at lots of different things, didn't they? Whether it was sort of insider networks. What do you put it down to?
Well, I think it's closed recruitment. There's no policies and procedures, there's no involvement, there's no recruitment, and there's no clear and transparent way that clubs go about recruiting their coaches and their managers. This is something that the game has to take on board, hence why one of our recommendations is to look at positive action. Positive action we've seen in America has helped black coaches to get involved in the discussion, and just by the Rooney Rule, which encourages in American football the clubs to actually just interview one black and ethnic minority candidate. We've seen the numbers from 2003 to 2006 go from 6% to 22%. That is not by any quota. That's just by allowing people who weren't allowed interviews before to be part of the process.
What about your point of view? Because, you know, you were a fantastic footballer. Would you have ever considered it an option?
No, coaching wasn't for me. I've been very fortunate to be involved in the media, and I've been involved in the PFA from the management committee. So the governance of football is something that I'm very, very interested in. And again, if you're going to talk about statistics, we see that less than 1% on the leadership roles of football are from the black and ethnic minority backgrounds. So when you're looking at these statistics, we see a game that has institutional racism and institutional discrimination right at the heart of it.
And what is it about becoming a coach as well? Because I've been looking at these figures as well. It seems they're not, you know, they're not applying or don't seem to be going for those, all the courses, etc., that you have to go through too.
Well, I think a fair number of black players are going through these courses to put themselves forward for these roles. But what you have to understand is when you're talking about institutional discrimination, it provides patterns. And we're seeing these patterns, and our report in association with Dr. Stephen Bradbury, I think, really shows these patterns in a clear way. The game has to recognise that it's for the game to deal with these issues first, then more black players will come forward. The attitude seems to be we need more black coaches to ignore.
And do you talk to those young players now? What is their kind of view on going forward and trying to become coach, trying to become managers? What do they think?
Well, I think the view is bleak. They've seen a generation over 30 years we've been playing football en masse, over 26, 27% black players playing at the moment, and they've seen the statistics that we've pointed at with our report today. I think a very clear part of this is that our report is being launched at the Houses of Parliament today, and it may be that we need government to get involved with this issue to really hold football governance to account.
Jason Roberts, really interesting talking to you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Let's see time now. It's 18 minutes past 8. That means it's time.